relief, but eventually I anticipate this case may very well go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Just ahead, tentative agreement reached. There are developments in mediation in the Plainview-Alvin-Millville School District. Plus, President Biden is headed to the Midwest today. He's making a plea to black voters in Wisconsin. And in the final days of the local Salvation Army fundraising campaign, the nonprofit announces one of its kettles was stolen at Apache Mall. Your News at Noon starts now.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
Good afternoon, I'm Jess Abrahamson. First, today at noon, after a lot of community feedback, today the Rochester School District is announcing a revised plan on how to cut millions of dollars from next year's budget. Well, these changes have changed after a big announcement from Mayo Clinic. It is donating $10 million to Rochester Public Schools. Our Charles Kelly has been studying the plan that was just announced this morning. He joins us live with more on what's in it. Hi, Charles.
Jess, there are many moving components to this announcement, but Superintendent Kent Pickell outlined this morning that the revised proposal would keep Pinewood Elementary, Mighty Oaks Early Learning School, and Riverside Elementary open. In this proposal, the 45-15 calendar will remain in place at Longfellow Elementary. In an effort to maximize space, Pinewood Elementary would move into the same building as Longfellow Elementary, but Pinewood would stay on a traditional schedule. The Mighty Oaks Early Learning School would move into the building currently occupied by Pinewood. Riverside will continue to operate as K-5 where it currently is. Pickell says another referendum is likely in 2024, but if the community doesn't show support, these painful cuts will return a year from now.
This is what I would call a bridge proposal, and the fact of the matter is, if we are not successful in passing a referendum over the course of the next year, we would have at least $10 million or more to cut. We don't expect Mayo Clinic to write a $10 million check every year. It would make no sense. They are providing critical support to maintain our momentum academically at this time.
The proposal will move the Gage Elementary and Willow Creek Middle School Spanish immersion program into Riverside, expanding to operate as K-8 language immersion program. I'll have more tonight on breaking down the other moving components of this proposal. In Rochester, Charles Kelly, KTTC News.
There is a lot to unpack. Thank you, Charles. Another generous gift from Mayo Clinic will help to continue important work of the Salvation Army. And as the Salvation Army prepares for its end-of-campaign push, the organization is reporting a kettle was stolen. This happened Monday evening at the entrance to JCPenney at Apache Mall. The Salvation Army says security footage shows a man and woman approaching the kettle when no one was there. Apache Mall security and Rochester police are reviewing footage of the incident. An investigation is ongoing. As we enter the final days of the Red Kettle campaign, here's how Mayo Clinic is helping to meet the goal. So far, the Salvation Army has received more than $172,000 from the campaign. Its goal is to raise $350,000 before the kettle season ends on Saturday. To help reach that goal, the Salvation Army is continuing its partnership with Mayo Clinic for Red Kettle Match event, where Mayo will be matching any donation given at any Olmsted County kettle or online.
What it is you have a gradual increase in kettle income until you get to the very end. And right now we're at that point where we're having the Mayo match on the 22nd, 23rd. So this coming weekend, we're 3 days away. Can you believe it? But that's going to be the big push to get us to that kettle goal.
The Mayo Clinic Red Kettle Match is set for this Friday and Saturday, and you can drop money off at those kettles from 9 a.m. until 7 o'clock. Let's get more on our Wednesday now with meteorologist Ed Schmidt. He has made his way out onto the weather patio to tell us about a nice bright day.
Beautiful day out here, Jess. About as good as it gets really this time of the year. We have very light winds. That's a nice change from the past 2 or 3 days where we've had some gusty weather. It's been a little extra chilly because of that. But the sun has been with us each day this week, and again today, a sunny and pleasant early winter day, late fall day, however you want to call it. Tomorrow actually is technically the winter solstice, though we are in meteorological winter. And either way you look at it, it is not typical for this time of the year to enjoy such a pleasant day. Here's our Lewiston Auto camera from Signal Hill, 36 right now, with a barely noticeable east breeze. It feels like 32. Air pressure is steady with high pressure nearby. At the airport, it's 38 degrees in Rochester. We're on our way to the low 40s here by the end of the afternoon. Owatonna 39, Mason City 36, and Preston 36. Skies are clear. We have sunshine now, but clouds are coming in from the southwest. They will arrive tonight, and they will stick around for quite some time. Weather Almanac, the typical high this time of the year, 26. We blew past that a couple hours ago. We're not going to see anything that cold, aside from maybe tonight's overnight low temperature. Certainly nothing like that for high temperature for quite some time. The sunset at 4:35 today. The temperature is well above the seasonal average by about 15 degrees. 41 today with a hint of a breeze, a lot of sunshine. Next couple of days feature fairly light winds, decent temperatures, but extra clouds and eventually a bit of rain. We'll have the full forecast details in just a few minutes.
Yeah, beautiful day out there, Ted.
Very comfortable.
Thank you. 2 people were arrested in Clear Lake in connection to an ongoing murder investigation out of Michigan. According to Clear Lake Police, about 6:30 Tuesday night, 50-year-old Margaret Campanen and 20-year-old Jacob Campanen were taken into custody at the request of the Houghton County Sheriff's Office in Michigan. The Sheriff's Office told Clear Lake Police the 2 were suspects in an investigation, saying they could be armed and dangerous. The pair was arrested at a local gas station. They're currently in custody at the Cerro Gordo County Jail, awaiting extradition to Houghton County on 1 count of homicide each. An update from court in the case of the man accused of stabbing Derek Chauvin. An Arizona grand jury has indicted 52-year-old John Tursik on several charges, including attempted murder. He's set to be arraigned on January 5th. Tursik allegedly stabbed Chauvin 22 times with an improvised knife the day after Thanksgiving. Healthcare workers at a Southeast Minnesota nursing facility are reportedly not getting paid. A resident of Bayview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Red Wing claims its workers' most recent checks were bounced, leaving many unable to pay their bills. Russell Bell Jr. has been a Bayview resident since last June. He now serves as the vice president for the center's resident council. He's using his voice to speak out against the owner for failing to pay employees. Bell says workers normally get paid through direct deposit. The most recent check was a paper one that Bell says bounced. He says after hearing from staff about this situation, he's reached out to the owner by email and is waiting for a response.
But people are struggling. They can't pay their mortgages, the rent, car payments. It's Christmas, and people are in the negative in their bank accounts. And also some of the financial institutes that the employees bank with will no longer accept checks from Bayview.
We did reach out to Bayview's administrator for comment about these allegations, and we're waiting to hear back. And when we do, we're going to update this story. The crisis at the U.S. southern border is showing no signs of slowing, with waves of migrants arriving daily. Some ports of entry have been shut down so officers can help deal with the crowd. NBC's Guad Venegas has more from the crossing in Eagle Pass, Texas, where migrants are waiting to be processed.
We're located at the International Bridge here in Eagle Pass, where large crowds of migrants continue to wait in this field behind me. You can see the large numbers of migrants, many of them arriving overnight. Now, we've seen crowds like this all throughout the week. So many of the migrants that, of course, arrived Monday were processed. More arrived on Tuesday, and overnight we saw even more of them. There could be as many as 2,000 migrants in that area, or even more. As the sun is rising, we've seen a lot of them stand up and walk over towards authorities where they are being loaded onto buses. And of course, Customs and Border Protection working as fast as they can to process as many migrants as they can. And you can see many of them using those aluminum Mylar blankets to, of course, protect themselves from the cold temperatures here in Texas. And this is the scene here in Eagle Pass, but we know that large crowds have also arrived in other parts of Arizona and in different parts of the U.S.-Mexico border as this new surge continues. Back to you.
President Biden is en route to Wisconsin. This is video of the president departing Marine One at Joint Base Andrews. Biden will be in Milwaukee later today, where he'll promote his economic and business policies with a focus on Black voters. He'll be visiting the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce. Vice President Kamala Harris is launching a cross-country reproductive freedoms tour next year. That will start in Wisconsin on January 22nd, the 51st anniversary of Roe v. Wade. The landmark ruling, which established a federal right to abortion, was overturned last year. The Biden campaign sees abortion as a key issue for voters in 2024. We have an update on the teacher contract negotiations within the Plainview-Elgin-Millville School District. According to Superintendent Darren Strassel, the district and union have reached a tentative agreement. He says because mediation is a closed process, neither group can share details of that agreement. We do know the next step will be a vote by the union. Teachers and staff have been fighting for better contracts since June. Earlier this month, they stopped covering for other teachers during their prep time. Happening today, Olmsted County Veteran Services is partnering with the Veteran Benefits Administration in St. Paul to host a PACT Act Claims Clinic. So this initiative is designed to provide support and guidance to veterans navigating the complexities of their claims. Staff are going to be able to answer questions and address health-related inquiries. This is happening until 3 this afternoon at Grand Park in Rochester. Walk-ins are welcome. Still to come, the historic outhouse that is putting one Minnesota community on the map. First, a Rochester teen is sharing about her wonderful Make-A-Wish trip to the Big Apple at Christmas time. And for her, the greatest gift was being able to encourage other kids living with illnesses. We'll be right back. A Rochester family is back home after a trip of a lifetime to New York City during the holidays. This was made possible through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. While on the trip, this family also made some other wishes come true. 17-year-old Shelly Saski was diagnosed with sickle cell disease when she was 7 years old. It's something that can cause her a lot of pain and discomfort, and she's been hospitalized several times. After one of her hospital stays, Shelly's doctors let her know she was eligible for a Make-A-Wish experience. She chose a holiday-inspired trip to New York City with her family. They hit up all the hot tourist spots and even saw the Rockettes perform. But a true highlight, they were able to visit a children's hospital where they donated many toys to sick kids to help brighten their Christmas season. For Shelly, it's an experience she knows all too well.
I found it really important to me to just put a smile on those kids, because I knew when I get gifts in the hospital, it just brightens up my day that, you know, someone's thinking about me and everything and giving me something I like. And it honestly just, for that time, makes the pain go away.
Shelly's parents say when they heard about her wish to donate to other sick kids, they were proud, but they weren't surprised, because Shelly's always had a giving and empathetic spirit. What a beautiful family and beautiful experience together in New York City. Here's Ted.
A lot of sunshine today. The coming days won't be nearly as bright and cheery looking, but they will be very mild as we continue this very un-December-like stretch of weather. The latest 7-day forecast details are coming up after we look at our Wednesday market report.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Ted Schmidt.
bright, beautiful Wednesday afternoon out there.
Enjoy the sunshine today, Jess. It is a terrific day, but probably the last day of sunshine for quite a while. Certainly this much sun, to say the least, because we do have some pretty gray days ahead of us, but we're not going to be losing much of the warmth, though, despite the lack of sun in the coming days. We do have a long spell of pretty mild weather ahead of us. But here's the current view from some of our Louis Todaro live cameras. Blue sky day, a lot of sunshine. Very few clouds on our way to the low 40s already. We are well into the 30s. We started the day in the 20s. 38 right now at Rochester, officially at the airport, 39 in Austin, Mason City 36, it's 35 in Cresco, on our way to the low 40s, which again is about 15 degrees above the seasonal average, and that's where we've been more often than not this entire month. This, in the next couple of hours, when we do get to 40, we'll be the 9th day of this month so far, reaching 40 degrees or warmer. Winds are light from the east. That's a nice change of pace for us. Not the gusty weather we've had in recent days. It feels like 31 at the wind chill index. Air pressure is steady across the map. Blue sky across the entire region. In fact, we are watching a area of low pressure gathering to our southwest. Extra clouds. Those will drift into the area later tonight, and we'll have gray skies tomorrow and maybe even a spot of drizzle as we move closer to the weekend, increasing rain chances. But these temperatures, unreal, 40s and even low 50s, record territory for some of us by the end of the weekend. But future track today, right now, not a record day, but incredibly mild and very pleasant. A time of the year it's oftentimes known to be kind of gray and gloomy, blustery and cold. Today, none of the above. Some thin clouds come in this evening after a sun-filled day. Extra clouds tonight, a gray sky tomorrow, maybe a spot of drizzle in the afternoon. It's kind of a cool southeast breeze, but temperatures right around 40 tomorrow. We'll be in the mid-40s on Friday. More energy from the southwest brings a couple of spotty showers tomorrow night and for parts of Friday morning. Maybe a sprinkle or a very brief shower, and a better chance of rain lies ahead for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. As we buzz the jet stream, the northern branch well north of us, but southern branch providing a little more energy in parts of the Midwest. We'll get some glancing blow from that with an area of low pressure that brings rain chances Sunday and Monday, and then some colder air comes in behind that eventually. Not quite down to the seasonal average, but not as warm after Christmas. But records to watch for Christmas Eve. The record is 51. 50 is our forecast. 41 is the record. We're going to, I think, blow past that, and we'll be close to a record on Christmas Day, maybe within a couple of degrees of that. Rain chances, small chance Friday. Much better Sunday and Monday, maybe even Tuesday of next week. And yes, we are talking just rain. You'll see the numbers here, and you can see why it's rain, because 40s and low 50s are the numbers we're expecting. Friday temperatures 15 to 20 degrees above the seasonal average, 25 above average by Christmas Day, and staying above average at the very coldest through next week. So even when we do cool down, it will be above average through the end of the year. 41 today, mostly sunny. East winds around 10 miles per hour. Tonight, light winds, 26, increasing clouds. And tomorrow, a lot of clouds, maybe a spot of drizzle or mist late in the day or in the evening. A high of 40 with southeast winds around 12 miles per hour. 7-day forecast, a little bit of rain Friday. Better chance Sunday and Monday. They have a wet stretch of weather, half inch or more of rain possible in that time frame. Temperatures unreal, though. And then we cool back to the 30s, and maybe, even if we're lucky, in a week, we will see the sun come back, but it may go an entire week without it, though, Jess.
Okay, we'll just have to keep focused on the road conditions are what's most important.
The road conditions look great.
Yep, get to see all those special people. Thanks, Ted. Just ahead, Minnesota's home to a lot of historic places. Perhaps the most unique is a 2-story outhouse, believed to be one of only 3 in the country. So we'll check it out next. There's a unique building in Belle Plaine, Minnesota, a 2-story outhouse. It was considered pretty high class 150 years ago. John Lauritsen takes us there.
Lots of little details, lots of little knickknacks on tables.
The Hooper Bowler Hillstrom House in Belle Plaine is on the National Register of Historic Places. Built in 1871, it's stuffed full of knickknacks and nostalgia.
The children that live here and grow up here, part of this house would help them understand the history of the town that they're in, they live in, and they grow up in.
Visiting this old Victorian is like taking a step back in time. Or like having a seat back in time.
Back in the day, this is where you would have done your business.
That's right.
And you would have had to make it quick because it's not exactly warm in here, right?
No, it's about 10 degrees.
In the winter, you would risk getting frostbite when nature called.
Yeah, you're not going to read the paper or anything like that.
The Bowler family added 2 stories worth of toilets in 1886, 3 in the upstairs part of the outhouse and 2 on the bottom. They also built a skyway to get there quickly,
Unlike the skyways you see in downtown Minneapolis, this one is only about 3 feet long. But it's a necessary feature because you wouldn't want your outhouse right next to your bedroom.
The giant outhouse was considered a sign of wealth 150 years ago, and it was extremely rare.
It was pretty fancy back then.
I guess it was.
This brings new meaning to the phrase upper decker.
Yep, you got it.
Everything funneled into a tank below ground, and it wasn't unheard of for family members to be upstairs and downstairs at the same time.
When you have tours, people do ask if this is still in operation, and you have to
Tell them.
let them
no.
down easy,
Yeah.
so to speak.
When the Historical Society acquired the home in the 1970s, the outhouse was closed for business. But tour guide Carrie Coop says people still come from across the country to see this anomaly. And one question always comes up.
Toilet paper. Always toilet paper.
And they did have that back then.
No.
The families didn't have access to that novelty until about 1900.
In the day, they had rags, and they would use rags to clean themselves. Kids always tell me how gross it is. Yeah, it is.
From rags to riches. All of this shows just how far we've advanced over time.
That's your source of heat right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those rare Minnesota places where you come for the house and stay for the outhouse.
The technology has changed, but really the people themselves have not changed. And it's kind of fun to talk about that.
Interesting. The two-story outhouse is one of only 3 in the United States. Coop says they've had visitors from nearly every state and several countries. The house and outhouse are supported through donations. Maybe something to check out next year. Here's Howard in the kitchen.
We've got a tasty appetizer that'll make you the perfect host. And when guests come knocking, I promise you'll be ready. You know, over the next couple of weeks, the likelihood of having some unexpected visitors drop by is pretty good. Wouldn't it be nice if you had something that you could throw together in no time that looks like something that you've been fussing on all afternoon? For those of you who have an air fryer, this is the time to bring it out. If you don't, no worries, you can make this in your oven or toaster oven too. First, we sprinkle some brown sugar on top of our brie and air fry it. While it's heating, we'll melt butter in a skillet along with some chopped pecans. After these are toasted a bit, we add some maple syrup, orange zest, cinnamon, and a handful of dried cherries. Thanks to our air fryer, the topping and outside of this is cooked perfectly, while the inside is a melty delight. Now we top it with our ooey gooey maple sauce that's studded with all sorts of goodness. Does this look like something that was whipped up in less than 10 minutes? I don't think so. To get the recipe for our show-stopping cherry pecan brie, which is from our new air fryer cookbook, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fabulous last-minute way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Good?
Oh, Ted, that brie cheese looks pretty good. You just need some crackers, maybe a nice glass of wine or some hot cider.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Yeah, that's the taste of the holidays right there, Jess. Yeah, and we have great weather to get to where you're going for those types of things because we do have amazing travel conditions ahead of us. So, I mean, it's just amazing compared to where we were a year ago when we were concerned about treacherous road conditions consistently throughout the month of December with low visibility or blowing snow or sub-zero wind chill values, all those things. Today, this week, overall, that's not a concern. Today, a day without wind or without much wind. Here's the current view from our Louis Donaldo camera in Austin. There is just short of 40 degrees. Here in Rochester, kind of the same situation. Sunny and 38 here at the studio. The wind light from the east at 7 miles per hour. It feels like 32 right now where I'm standing. At the airport, it's 38 degrees in Rochester. Red Wing 39, 39 in Austin, and 39 in Charles City. Plenty of sunshine where we are, but we have clouds to the north and south of us. Eventually, those clouds from the south and west will come into the area later tonight. You see that in our day planner. Sunshine during the day, clouds come in late tonight, and temperatures topping out today around 41, Tonight, close to 30, and then the next few days, warm but gray. Ted's Trivia on December 26th, I have to read that here, is known as Boxing Day in Great Britain. The day also celebrates which saint? It's one of those 4 saints, and we will have that answer in a few minutes, Jess.
Know this because you bring up Boxing Day every year.
Yeah, it's coming up next week.
Yes, before we know it. Thanks, Ted. Just ahead, have you seen Minnesota's new state flag? It's a talker, and we're going to get reaction from some local residents on how they feel about it. First, on this Wednesday, here's a look at one of the stories you can see just after us on Investigate TV+.
Next time on Investigate TV+, too dangerous to drive but still on the road.
Are there people who are buying these vehicles with open federal safety recalls that are dying because of it?
Yes, the legal loophole that keeps some drivers in the dark about serious recalls.
So here's a talker for your holiday dinner table. As we reported yesterday at noon, Minnesota has a new state flag, and the design is getting some mixed reaction. After months of meetings and thousands of design submissions, the State Emblems Redesign Commission has chosen a finalist. It features a white North Star on a dark blue shape of Minnesota. The flag's light blue background represents the state's waters. The chairman of the commission says he hopes this new design will bring Minnesotans together. Last May, the state legislature passed a bill to redesign the flag and the state seal. Critics say some imagery on the previous flag was deemed politically incorrect. So we asked some people around town what they think of this new design.
It actually looks more like a country flag than a state flag, but I kind of like that. I like the space, the spatial design on it and how it's laid out a little bit better. The old one's kind of busy, and it's hard to tell what's what.
The fact that they're trying to illustrate the Star of the North, or the state of Minnesota being the North Star state, fine. I'm okay with that, but there's nothing reflecting the state of Minnesota. If you ask anybody in the country, what does that flag represent, what state? No one, unless they've watched the news, would know that's the state of Minnesota's flag.
For those who aren't happy with the design, it still does have to go before the state legislature. If lawmakers do not veto the selection, though, you're going to see that flag flying as soon as April. The Biden administration has an ambitious new plan to fight climate change by preserving America's old-growth forests. The goal is to restore 112 million acres of mature forest land under federal management. It's the first time since 2007 that the National Forest Service is amending its plan to battle climate change. Old-growth forests in Washington, Oregon, and California are capable of absorbing up to 10% of the country's annual greenhouse gas emissions. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is working with the Department of Interior's Bureau of Land Management to execute the president's plan. Today we're getting some new information about just how much U.S. farmland is held by foreign countries. Our Ag Day Minute has more on that.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. USDA says foreign-owned farmland in the U.S. grew by more than 8% last year. The number owned by foreign entities totaling 43.4 million acres of forest and farmland. However, that is just 3.4% of total U.S. ag land. Now, on this map, the states in orange are where foreign-held ag land is 2.4% or more. Canada remains the largest foreign investor of U.S. land, accounting for 32% of the total foreign-held land. China accounts for less than 1%. Take a look at what border agents in Southern California intercepted last week. The shipment had been declared as jalapeno paste, which a tractor trailer they stopped was actually carrying, but a canine found something else along with it. More than 3,000 pounds of meth and more than 500 pounds of cocaine. The 28-year-old driver was detained. And Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday. It's a practice that's been in place since it first opened in Georgia back in 1946. But now a bill has been introduced in New York that could affect Chick-fil-A locations at rest stops along Interstate 90 in the state. The new bill would require food services at transportation facilities and rest areas owned and operated by certain public authorities to remain open 7 days a week. So far, no comment from Chick-fil-A. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or anytime at agweb.com.
Here's your First Alert weather with meteorologist Ted Schmidt.
Had some great weather the past couple of days. A little windy at times, but we've had some beautiful sunshine. And past day or two has been fairly comfortable. They've been comfortable with yesterday some 30s and some thin clouds. And all that just led to some gorgeous coloring at both sunrise and sunset. This is a picture from Todd Walking Stick. This is from Owatonna. Just an array of gorgeous pictures with amazing colors from last evening. So if you have pictures like this, send them to kttc.com/weather or to our Facebook page or even Twitter. This actually array of pictures was sent in on Twitter, or X as they call it now. But that's we saw that this morning. It sent to me. I appreciate that array of pictures. It's gorgeous last night. Now today, sunshine. That's gorgeous in a different way, but we love this tranquil, peaceful weather with less wind and some amazing temperatures. 38 right now in Rochester, Owatonna. 39 where Todd Walking Stick is, 36 in Mason City, and 39 in Charles City, on our way to the low 40s once again. It'll be the 9th time this month, already in the 40s for high temperatures, 40s or more, I should say. Right now, look, the wind chill index 31, air pressure is steady. We have high pressure nearby, bringing us a sun-filled, quiet day. Clouds gathering to our southwest. Eventually, those with an area of low pressure will move into the area, and there's more where those are coming from. We will have more cloud cover moving forward through tonight, tomorrow, and the days that follow. And in fact, there'll be some increasing rain chances, a couple of spotty showers between now and the start of the weekend. But we get closer to Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and we're looking at holiday weekend rain. Not your typical holiday weekend snow, to say the least, but future tracks at least showing some sunshine today. The last, I think, of this type of abundance and sunshine for a week or more. Clouds thicken tonight. We'll have gray skies late in the night. Temperatures close to 30. And then tomorrow, we're going to make our way into the low 40s. A couple of spots of drizzle or sprinkles tomorrow late in the day and the evening especially, and then spotty showers early Friday. More widespread rain will come in with extra clouds for the weekend, especially on Sunday and Monday. With periods of rain Sunday and Monday, a half inch or more of rainfall in that time frame with some unreal temperatures. Looking at near record warmth. Christmas Eve, the record 41 right now, set a couple of years ago. 50s are forecast, and we're forecasting something close to record territory on Christmas Day. 50 degrees is a current record there. Temperatures amazingly mild for that time frame. Santa Claus, they're trying to figure out what's going on, but it's going to be something he's not used to. A whole stretch of about 6 days, maybe even 7, if you're talking close to 40 or warmer overall. 10-day temperature tracker. Late next week, it does get colder, low 30s, but still, even that is above the seasonal average to round out the year. 41 today, mostly sunny skies. East winds around 5 to 15 miles per hour. 26 increasing clouds tonight and a light breeze. And it's just a slight southeast breeze tomorrow. A little drizzle maybe late in the day. A high of 40. Rain, at least a possibility early Friday. Better chances Sunday, Monday, maybe even part of Tuesday before we finally maybe see some sunshine. That is next Wednesday or Thursday as things cool off. A long stretch of near record warmth. Ted's Trivia, talking about the Saints on the day after Christmas. December 26th is known as Boxing Day in Great Britain. The day is also celebrating which of those saints?
I think it's A or B. I'm going to go with St. Stephen.
It is the Feast of St. Stephen.
Okay.
That's right. The thing is, I can't remember which. It's one of those Christmas carols that makes reference to the Feast of St. Stephen. And you think about that. So it's like, I'd look that one up. I can't remember which one it is now.
Okay. Thank you, Ted. Need a break from the busy task of wrapping up the holiday shopping? Well, some of our staff members may have found the perfect stress reliever at Mall of America. We have that fun adventure next. The retail rush is on to find those perfect gifts before Christmas, so malls can be busy and stressful places for many people. But our Cami Raisler and Nick Jansen found a good way to soak in some fun during their shopping at Mall of America.
All right, we are here at the log shoot, the Yule log shoot in December.
Yeah, I haven't been looking forward to this. I'm not a big water ride person.
I love this ride.
I know you do. You rode SpongeBob twice for me, so I will ride the log shoot once for you.
And you're riding in the back so you don't get wet? That's the hope?
That's the hope. Eventually, I'm sure I'll ride it. I've been scouting the test runs a little bit, so hopefully, yeah, the back doesn't get as wet. I just don't want I don't like walking around the mall with wet shoes on. Will I be fine?
You'll be
really?
Fine.
Because our contact here at the Mall of America, she said, All right, it's okay if you get wet. That was the first thing she said to me earlier today.
I can't wait to show you the Harman Killebrew chair as well.
Okay.
522
So is
feet.
that 522 feet
From home.
from
Yeah.
the home plate?
Which I suppose is
It's-
over there.
it's over that way.
Yeah, so 522 feet is how far
that's
he
a
hit the
moonshot.
longest home run in Met Stadium.
It's a
So
long
we're gonna
home
go
run.
check that out. All right, let's go.
All right.
Oh wow, you like it? Oh, the seat's already wet. Woo!
Look at all this water.
You'll be fine.
It's all right. I got shorts in my bag. Bye, guys.
See you at the bottom.
Hopefully I don't get too wet.
Are you gonna film? Here we go.
My God. I'm gonna get soaked. I hate you.
There's the chair. It was glorious.
How wet I get.
Those two have fun wherever they go. We'll be right back in just a moment with news for coffee lovers. We leave you with some news for Dunkin' fans. The donut and coffee chain is dropping coconut milk from its menus. Dunkin' is dropping that, which means the end of coconut refreshers, which mix coconut milk and flavored iced tea. Dunkin' hasn't given a reason for it reducing its plant-based dairy alternatives. Cost could be one, though. Coconut is the most expensive non-dairy milk and not as popular among customers. The coffee chain is keeping almond and oat milk around, though. The 70th annual Eagles Cancer Telethon on KTTC will be here before we know it. All of the money raised stays right here in Minnesota. So mark your calendars, January 13th and 14th, as together we'll raise hope and awareness for cancer research and hopefully a lot of money too. Of course, we know that weekend can be very cold, but right now we're experiencing unseasonable warmth.
Yeah, it's very possible that Christmas weekend will be warmer than Halloween was. It's going back a couple of months, but kind of strange to think in those terms, or even maybe warmer than Thanksgiving. Temperatures on Christmas Eve may even reach 50 degrees. Christmas Day, something similar down the road. Today, though, sunshine. We continue this warming trend that started yesterday. We reached the mid-30s yesterday after kind of a colder start. Today, we started in the 20s. We're going to make our way to 41. A lot of sunshine with not too much wind. 7-day forecast. Maybe a spot of drizzle tomorrow. A few isolated showers Friday. Best chances of rain on Sunday and Monday of this week. Temperatures over the holiday weekend near record levels.
Enjoy your afternoon.